Right down there, man. hardly see it.
But... Oops. See what I mean in here? Come out here and look over here. See, that's the family room right there, and that's the rec room back there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure got that commode close to the wall.
Mm-hmm. Notice shades on any other window, did you? Did you?
What?
I said, I didn't notice shades on any other window, did you?
Shades on these windows.
That's,
Shades on those.
no, I just didn't notice them. I was gonna see about taking the little four-poster bed and getting it fixed and setting it up in this room, because we'll have the sofa bed we can put, you know, downstairs in that rec room or whatever.
A few more fall in the long march toward the Final Four. Well, goodbye. It is history. Yeah, little dollar. You get it? I'm not going to tell how much it was. It's kind of a joke. You know, whoever picked every game in this tournament correctly so far has to be cheating. After a mild first day of upsets, today's action will have you crossing out many of the picks you have in your office pool. The #1 upset of the day, Penn State against UCLA. Yes, they can play more than football well at Penn State. It's their first trip to the NCAA tournament in 26 years. They beat UCLA today. It's the first time they have beaten a ranked opponent all season long. Penn State was down by as many as 8 in the second half, but they come back to sting the Bruins 74-69 and lock an awful lot of people out of the office pool. This was unbelievable. All right, let's take a peek at some of the scores, and we'll come back to some highlights. Penn State wins by 5. The Hurons of Eastern Michigan upset the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. They do it by 20. Great finish between Michigan State and Wisconsin Green Bay. Game is tied. Steve Smith of Michigan State will wind up with the basketball and take the shot, and it is good, just beating the clock. And the Spartans advance with a 60-58 win over the Phoenix of Wisconsin Green Bay, one of the better nicknames. Utah and South Alabama are playing right now in the second half, and the Utes are holding on 72-61. In the Southeast Regional in Atlanta, Rutgers and Arizona State. Rutgers led this thing by 9 points with 9 minutes to go. They're in red. Arizona State is in white. Now, Arizona State down 2, a little bit more than a minute and a half to go. Terrence Wheeler will wheel and deal and stick a three-pointer to put ASU up by 1. Now, ASU led by 2 with 2.5 seconds to go. Rutgers has a chance to tie this thing or to win it with a three-pointer. However, ASU steals the inbounds pass. They make a foul shot, and they win it by 3, 79-76. The Panthers of Georgia State, they took the subway to this game because their campus is in Atlanta. They got blown out by Arkansas 117-76. Must have been a tough subway ride. The Hurons, the Huskies of Northern Illinois, lose to St. John's 75-68. And Texas knocks out the Peacocks of St. Peter's 73-65. And of course, tonight at 7:30 up at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, it'll be the Northeastern Huskies going against the Tar Heels from the University of North Carolina. Highlights and reaction from that game coming up tonight at 11. Meanwhile, Boston College kicks off the NCAA hockey tourney tonight with their best-of-3 series with Alaska Anchorage. And out at UMass, the Minutemen will play in the NIT against LaSalle. That game will be played in Amherst at Curry Hicks Cage. Bruins are 9 games from the close of the regular season, and last night they beat the Canadians for the 5th time this season. This game had playoff written all over it. Terrific game. Craig Janney, number 23, gets goal number 25 in the year and puts the Bruins up 1-0. And then he hooks up with Ken Hodge to double that lead.
Broken up by Janney. Janney trying to break. Stops. Cuts. Beautiful move. Cross. Shot. Score by Hodge.
Bruins led it 2-0 into the third. A little bit more than a minute into it, Petre Srico gives them a 3-0 lead. Montreal cut it to 3-2. Watch this save by Moog with time running out.
18 seconds left. A breakaway by Corson onside. Saved by Andy Moog.
We felt we would be a first-place hockey club all year. We've been there. I don't know how long we've been there, but I think that we believe that we can win our Adams division. We believed it right from the start, and tonight was just another step in that direction.
All right, the Red Sox get 4 innings of 3-hit baseball, 1-run baseball from Danny Darwin today, who picked up his first win of spring training. They also got some big bats from Mo Vaughn, who cranked out a home run batting in the cleanup position against the Montreal Expos today. Vaughn was 1 for 4 on the day. And Mickey Pena out of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, 2 for 3, 2 runs batted in. This is a home run in the top of the 4th inning as the Red Sox took out the Expos 6-3. All right, Celtics put the lid on their 5-game road trip tonight. That'll be down in Washington against the Bullets. Which brings us to high five. You know, every once in a while an athlete surfaces who just wants to make you leap out of your chair and applaud. Well, tonight's high five has permitted us to tell his story, not so that it will draw attention to him, but so that it may serve as an inspiration to those who find the struggle so difficult. The true mark of a champion is not necessarily to be better than your opponent, but to be better than you ever thought you could be yourself. Andy Winder's opponent since he came into this world has been the horrible disease cystic fibrosis. He battles that with the same ferocity with which he battles his opponents on the basketball floor. Only families of CF patients truly know the daily battles to free the young lungs of enormous mucus buildup. Andy consumes some 40 pills daily to create the missing enzymes in his pancreas. His physical therapy is basketball, a daily dose, 12 months a year. In the Eastern Mass basketball final at the Garden on Wednesday night, Andy electrified the crowd with 35 spectacular points and nearly helped Acton Boxborough overcome Sharon, just as he has overcome his lifetime companion. How can you be so tough and deal with this?
I got friends who are tough. I don't know.
Is that the secret?
Yeah, they just keep me going, push me, and then I push myself, I guess.
Was there ever a point where you wanted to just pack it in and because it was just physically too demanding playing sports?
No, I don't think so.
The one particular game last year was just screaming at me, how can you play that kid with such a bad cold? I was heading in to talk to my team. I'm just saying to myself, if you only knew, lady, you know, what this kid was going through out there on the court. I mean, you know she wouldn't say such a thing.
The medical community marvels at his endurance in a sport that demands so much from the lungs. He visits Children's Hospital every 3 months for a checkup. More and more of his friends and classmates have become aware of his condition, which he politely declines to elaborate on. At Acton Boxborough, not only is he the captain of the basketball team, he is president of the National Honor Society and winner of the prestigious Harvard Book Award.
A lot of kids don't know that I have it. I don't talk about it, so there's no reason to, I don't think.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roll. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home.
you ever get afraid or fearful at all?
Not really. Just going out there playing. Because I've had it all my life, so it doesn't really affect me anymore.
It's something to be admired, and I think me and the rest of the players try to work harder because we know Andy's working harder, and he's an inspiration to a lot of our team, and I think that's helped us go this far.
What message would you have to other people, other families?
Go out and work hard, I guess. Do what you can, and then it'll all come together in the end, maybe. Hopefully.
He wanted so badly to win a state championship for his team and his school. But this is a young man who wears the crown of a champion every day of his life. He's Andy Winters of Acton Boxborough High School. I say, take that, Barry Bonds and Mike Marshall and Ricky Henderson and all the guys that whine about money and other minor ailments. This is really one of the greatest stories, I think.
It is. He's a boy of so few words, and yet they're so powerful.
Yeah. His actions speak louder than everything. He put on a show at the Garden that people that have been going to the Tech Tourney for 30 years have never seen before.
Well, we had him on. You focused on him on a shot, and he made the shot.
He's a showman. Maybe we should go on television.
Thanks,
Okay,
Lynchy.
thanks, Mike.
Still ahead, we're going to take another check on the weekend weather.
But first, father versus daughter in the courtroom. Chuck Kramer reviews class action next.
High Five Yearbook, the class of 1990-91. Here's SportsCenter 5's Mike Lynch.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Lynch, and welcome to another High Five Yearbook. It's hard to believe that this class of 1991 was in elementary school when we first began High Five 6 seasons ago. During this past school year, through High Five, we have introduced you to some 60 young men and women. Now, some of them were singled out for their individual efforts in a game or event, some over the course of a season, and some over the course of their career. We think we have quite a class. So sit back and enjoy as we flip through the pages of our High Five Yearbook.
Ted's 22 kind of left. Fan, on 1-on-1.
Right. We began our 6th season at Bishop Stang with quarterback Chris Brady, who made his first start one to remember, running for 4 touchdowns. Walpole was back in the Super Bowl thanks to their running back and class president, Ryan Eldridge. Sharon made the most out of their visits to the Garden in the state tournament thanks to the unselfish play of Jeff Scott. Gabriel's fire roared in Weymouth. Steve Gabriel, a terror on the football field and the wrestling mat. And in the pool, we found Ursuline Academy's Kristen Gately. She won 4 individual state titles in the pool. She'll swim next year at Harvard. Hudson High's Steve Flanagan served and volleyed his way to another sectional state title. Drakett's Tammy Noel is just a junior. Next year, she gets to defend her individual state gymnastic crown. 16 years ago, BC High Scott Webster was in a boat fleeing Saigon. This fall, he set a single-game rushing record for the Eaglets with 361 yards. And this is 14-year-old Sheila Priestley of Westford Academy. She was the girls' state diving champion, just a freshman. And Brookline's Chris Curl-Patkin impressed the folks at Northeastern so much, he'll stay and play on Parsons Field next year. Meanwhile, this story in the fall in Newton. Meet Jenny Martin, sophomore violinist at Newton North High School. Meet Jenny Martin, the cross-country champion, whose coach just happens to be her father, Peter. At the Eastern Mass Cross-Country Championships in November, Jenny and the rest of the pack were running through the 3-mile course in the woods of Franklin Park. The first runner to emerge was Jenny.
So my heart started pounding, so I went racing across the field screaming. And then I remembered we were in the hunt for the team championship.
Could you tell he was excited when you first came into sight at the end?
I heard him screaming the whole way, and then he disappeared.
It, of course, was a great thrill for a father and a coach to have the team do so well and your daughter. And yes.
Couldn't write the script any better?
No, for sure. If you need any more than this in life to be happy, your priorities are all wrong. It was a fabulous day.
Jenny is an honor student. She studies violin at the New England Conservatory. She plays tennis and golf with her dad, and quite often she is his running partner.
I don't try to be better than everyone. I just try to do my best, and what happens, happens.
Jenny will run for her dad for 2.5 more seasons as a student, but she will run with her dad forever as his daughter.
Pretty proud to have your dad as a coach?
Yeah, he's great. He tries to get the best out of everyone. I think that's one of his strengths.
Pretty proud of her?
Oh. You'd have to be crazy not to be proud of a kid like that.
Jenny Martin is just one of the many multi-dimensional and multi-talented high-fivers that we had the good fortune to meet during the course of the school year. A lot of the student athletes who you have met and will meet not only are great on the athletic field and in the classroom, but they volunteer and donate their time to many worthwhile causes in their communities. We're going to take a time out right now, but first, an alumni check to a high-fiver from the class of 1988. Remember Stoneham's Joe Vitiello? Well, after playing for the Spartans, he went to the University of Alabama, where this year he hit 15 home runs, knocked in 66 more, and hit over 400. And on June 3rd, the Kansas City Royals made him the 7th pick in the entire draft.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. I'm in shock right now. You know, I never thought I'd be, first round pick Kansas City, but hey, I'm ready to go.
Tonight's High Five Yearbook is sponsored by McDonald's.
After you've discovered the muscles you never knew you had.
Of the young men or women that you have met during the course of this half hour. Now, this wasn't an easy process. We've whittled down the field to a number of individuals, and what we have done, to be fair, is eliminate those who have already received full scholarships from the colleges which they will attend this fall. From the remaining pool, we will select one boy or girl to be our High Five Scholarship winner. In the meantime, let's continue to flip through the pages of our High Five Yearbook. Matinon's Dan Lupo scored 6 touchdowns in one game. But his sport happens to be hockey, and one day the National Hockey League may come calling. Behind Amy Lecomte, Case won 84 matches in a row and another state title. Brockton's Marjorie DeLoe is a 3-sport track captain. She'll study marine biology at MIT. Milton Academy's Cliff Evans dared to be true to his school with 356 yards on one sunny Saturday afternoon. Linfield's Chris Ekman led the Pioneers to their best season in years. He was accepted early at Amherst. Weymouth's Mark Mitchelson overcame a bout with cancer. He's a 3-sport captain headed for Harvard. The Winchester girls soccer team not only was the best in Massachusetts, they were rated the #1 girls high school soccer team in America. Hull's Pat Henderson captained 3 sports and reminded folks of Brett Hull this winter on the ice. Elmont Hill's Ben Coughlin has had nothing but straight A's since the 7th grade. That and his athletic ability have him ticketed for Harvard. And how about this parlay we found in Stoughton?
This is your 1991 all-around state gymnastics champion. He is from Stoughton High School, and his name is Holt. This is your 1991 state wrestling champion at 103 pounds. His name is also Holt, and he is also from Stoughton High School. His first name is Matt. His brother's first name is Craig. Twin brothers, that is. Just think, what are the odds that twin brothers can win individual state championships in 2 different sports in the same week of the same year?
From what I've heard, it's never been done, but I'm not sure about that. I think I've heard of it once before. Someone said the odds are like 1 in a couple million or something, because there's not many twins and there's not many people that win state titles.
When they were young, they were usually competitive, but rarely with each other. They used to play soccer together. Then Craig branched off to gymnastics. Matt stuck with soccer and then tried wrestling. 2 sports that tax the muscles and endurance like no others.
Did you ever sit around the living room at home this year and say, do you know there's a chance that both of us could be state champions?
Definitely. There were a lot of times because, you know, we've been working hard, and we said to each other, wouldn't it be awesome if both of us become state champions?
Is that true?
Yeah, it's a nice feeling, you know, sit around kind of hoping it'll come true. And I've been working hard to beat my boy, and I did it. And, you know, he did too, so it came true.
You guys pretty proud of what you've been able to do?
Yeah, we're proud, but you know, we don't go around saying, yeah, I'm state champion, I'm #1, because I mean, really not #1 till you're #1 in the world, and you know, you can't let it go to your head. Just gotta keep going, you know. I would keep wrestling, try to get better and better and better, and maybe one day that world thing will come. You never know.
We'll be back with more, but first, let's check out another former high-fiver from the class of 1989, who made the trek from Brockton down to Clemson, South Carolina. You remember this guy, number 32, Rudy Harris. He ran over, around, and through opponents, leading Brockton to another Super Bowl title. Lots of colleges were after him. He chose Clemson. Now he runs for the Tigers in front of 80,000 people.
Something's happened to the menu at McDonald's recently.
The athletes that we feature, we learn about as a direct result of communication from you, the viewer. So if you have somebody in your community or your school that you feel is worthy of a high five, drop us a note. We're going to continue now with our high five yearbook, and at the end of this segment, we will meet our high five scholarship winner. South Boston finished a perfect 10-0 last fall, 35 players with a common goal, led by quarterback Mike Whitney. Beverly's Heather Dunn teaches youngsters the fine points of racquetball. She is the world junior champion. No high school girl in the United States ever drove in more runs than St. Columkille's Don McMillan. During her varsity career, Watertown's Lauren Kazosian never played in a losing game. Nobody could stop Thayer Academy's Kelly Amonte, 102 goals in 14 games.
Jen Villiotti is the starting goalie on the Shrewsbury boys hockey team and their captain. She's on her way to Harvard. Jen and Val Poulos of Brookline are identical twins with identical talents. They're on their way to Cal Berkeley. Methuen's Danny Elisha is a state and New England wrestling champion. He has a full scholarship to Springfield, the first member of his family to attend college. Now we go to Acton, Boxborough for our scholarship winner. The true mark of a champion is not necessarily to be better than your opponent, but to be better than you ever thought you could be yourself. Andy Winder's opponent since he came into this world has been the horrible disease cystic fibrosis. He battles that with the same ferocity with which he battles his opponents on the basketball floor. Only families of CF patients truly know the daily battles to free the young lungs of enormous mucus buildup. Andy consumes some 40 pills daily to create the missing enzymes in his pancreas. His physical therapy is basketball, a daily dose, 12 months a year. In the Eastern Mass basketball final at the Garden on Wednesday night, Andy electrified the crowd with 35 spectacular points and nearly helped Acton Boxborough overcome Sharon, just as he has overcome his lifetime companion.
How can you be so tough and deal with this?
I got friends who are tough. I don't know.
Is that the secret?
Yeah, they just keep me going, push me, and then I push myself, I guess.
Was there ever a point where you wanted to just pack it in and because it was just physically too demanding playing sports?
No, I don't think so.
The one particular game last year was just screaming at me, how can you play that kid with such a bad cold? I was heading in to talk to my team. I'm just saying to myself, if you only knew, lady, you know, what this kid was going through out there on the court. I mean, you know she wouldn't say such a thing.
The medical community marvels at his endurance in a sport that demands so much from the lungs. He visits Children's Hospital every 3 months for a checkup. More and more of his friends and classmates have become aware of his condition, which he politely declines to elaborate on. At Acton Boxborough, not only is he the captain of the basketball team, he is president of the National Honor Society and winner of the prestigious Harvard Book Award.
A lot of kids don't know that I haven't. I don't talk about it, so there's no reason to, I don't think.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roll. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. And may you grow to be proud, dignified and true. And do unto others as you'd have done to you. Be courageous and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay. Forever young, forever young, forever young, forever young.
Do you ever get afraid or fearful at all?
Not really. Just going out there, playing. It's like, 'cause I've had it all my life, so it doesn't really affect me anymore.
It's something to be admired, and I think me and the rest of the players try to work harder because we know Andy's working harder, and he's an inspiration to a lot of our team, and I think that's helped us go this far.
What message would you have to other people, other families?
Go out and work hard, I guess. Do what you can, and then it'll all come together in the end, maybe. Hopefully.
He wanted so badly to win a state championship for his team and his school. But this is a young man who wears the crown of a champion every day of his life. He's Andy Winters of Acton Boxborough High School. Well, that scene with Andy aboard his teammate's shoulders was back in March. It is now June, and Andy has since graduated. And for what he accomplished in the classroom, in his community, and on the basketball floor, it gives us a great deal of pleasure to present you, Andy, with the $2,500 scholarship to use next year in college. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. What are you going to do next year?
I'm going to Brandeis and staying in the Boston community. That's about it. Playing basketball there.
Close to home so your folks and friends and family can come see you play?
Hopefully. Support me. They support me through high school, so I'll probably be there at Brandeis, too.
All right. Graduation, how did that go, all right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Finals are all right?
Yeah.
Glad they're over, right?
Yeah.
All right, you're a big basketball fan, obviously. Did it surprise you that the Bulls took the Lakers with such ease?
Not really. I wanted the Bulls all the way.
You did?
Nah, you know, Lakers, like with 3-1, when it was 3-1 in Chicago, you kind of thought that the Lakers would, you know, maybe pick out that last game in L.A., but, you know, we wanted the Bulls to win because Michael hasn't won one yet, so it's kind of good that he won one.
All right, quickly back to your basketball experience. Would you have traded it in for anything else? I know a lot of people wrestle with whether they want to participate in a sport or not. What has it meant for you over your career?
Brought me a lot of friends, I guess. Like just playing in different tournaments and going to camps just brought me a lot of friends. And I've just had a lot of great experiences with basketball.
All right, and your summer job's going to be?
Working at a camp with little kids.
All right, that should be fun. Huh?
Yeah.
That'll make you grow old in a hurry.
Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations again, and hey, maybe we'll bump into you down the road at Brandeis, huh?
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, he's Andrew Winders. Here's our High Five Scholarship winner, headed for Brandeis next year. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this break.
Something's happened to the menu at McDonald's recently.
Sports are becoming an endangered species, and now more than ever, communities need your involvement to make sure that high school sports survive and that young boys and girls who have an interest in athletics have a chance to reach or exceed their potential. We're going to leave you tonight with a musical salute to some of the athletes you have met during the course of this past school year. We're going to be back in September with more high fives. For all of us here at Sports Center 5, I'm Mike Lynch. Good night.
This is a day you will never forget for the rest of your lives.
I want you to enjoy this day. I want you to look around, look at your teammates. Take a look in people's eyes. Look in your eyes. Look in your friends' eyes. These guys are going to be your friends for the rest of your life. Some of you guys from the South School came up from the first grade, and look at you. 12 years later, you're still together. Are we running?
Suddenly it happened. Suddenly it happened. Suddenly. A chance in a lifetime. Chance in a lifetime. Now we're gonna take it. We can make it. When you put your heart in it, it can take you anywhere. Who's to say that we can't make it? It's the same dream that we share. Keep on believing. Keep on believing. Keep on believing. When you put your heart in it, when you put your heart, it can take you anywhere. Who's to say that we can't make it? It's the same dream that we share. When you put your heart in it, it can take you anywhere.
This is a Toyota Value June update.